Wow, alright, it's me on a Wednesday, throwing heat on the podcast, doing the stuff like we do on a Wednesday. Big boy Nintendo news we have to discuss. How are you all doing? Welcome back to the show, to the podcast. It's a beautiful March 1st. I almost said February. It's March 1st, hence the green lights. When you think of several months, guys, like, you kind of associate a color with it. Like, for example, January is gray, February is pink, March is green, April is also pink, May is also pink, June is green, July is green, August is brown. Like, each one has a color, and for me anyway, it's green. It tends to associate, or tends to link to the holiday in the month. For example, in February, it's pink because of Valentine's Day. March, green because of St. Patrick's. It kind of links to the month. But either way, it's bright outside. You guys have known me recently to be closing the curtains because it looks really bad on camera. But you can kind of see a little bit of a tree back there. But I just think it makes the room a bit more lively and a bit more open and bright. So I left it open for this episode, but I might have it closed next time. I'm not too sure what it'll be, but don't expect the curtains behind me to be consistently closed or opened. Whatever looks nice on the day is what it'll be. Either way, we're here. We have a lot of news, a lot of small news. So we have a lot of headlines and then a few segments. One thing, though, that I will have to update you ever since the last podcast. Also, let's go ahead and update my calendar. We gotta change the whole month. So if you see we got March, we flipped the thing. It says March now. 01 March 1st. All right. So one thing to update you on. You can tell I didn't prepare. There we go. There it is. I got a copy of Metroid Prime Remastered. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, if you saw the YouTube short, you would know I got one of these. And also, if you watched the last episode, you would know that I was gonna get one of these on an Amazon pre-order, and it was gonna take until early April. And so you're probably wondering, how did you get it? How did Amazon come through? Of course not. So me being me, impatient and wanting to play Metroid, which is weird because I haven't even played it yet. So we have this. How did I get it? Well, folks, it's as simple as on the game's release date, you just sit down, you pick up the phone, you start dialing. I called 2 GameStops, Starland, I think 2 Best Buys, a Target, a Walmart, and the second GameStop had a few extra copies. And let me tell you, the employee was like really excited. Like, I bet you he expected people to like start calling, "Hey, do you have Metroid?" Because he answered the phone and goes, "Yes, sir, we just picked up the copies off of the truck. There's a few extras. They are first come, first served." Like, he sounded really excited. So, went over there, got the game. That's it. But he was happy. He was happy. He wanted to give out some copies of Metroid. I hope that there actually were extra copies, because the GameStop that I called before that said that they had just enough for the pre-orders. So I hope that those extra copies that he had were actually extra copies and not like someone's pre-order. So if I stole your Metroid Prime pre-order and you live near me, which I'm not going to say where that is, but I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you, but I got your pre-order, so what are you going to do? But anyways, we have some Metroid Prime news in the headlines, reading headlines segment, which we'll get to in a minute. I believe that's about all to talk about for the intro. Well, yeah, so I'm going to get into the game, and one thing that I like is the reversible cover art. I brought this up in yesterday's YouTube short. I like how, like, this cover art actually looks normal. So, for example, when you have a reversible cover art for Switch games, a lot of times the reversible art looks very, very different and doesn't look like natural Switch art. This art looks natural. Like, it has the red bar, the Switch logo. Like, it looks like it could actually be the cover art of the game if this was, the original cover art. Like, it would be normal. Whereas, like, for the cover arts for Splatoon 3, it's like all blacked out, no Switch logo. It's just kind of like, it doesn't look natural. This one, very good and very natural. I don't know. I don't ever like to actually use the reversible art. I just like the original classic one, so I probably won't switch it. But anyways, that's about it for our intro to the Mario matter. This thing already has scratches. What happened? It already has scratches on it. Unless that's part of the artwork. No, it's not. Nintendo employee? Wait, hold on. No, it has to be. I didn't do any of this. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Nintendo employee? If I sent this to go get graded by WADA, I probably wouldn't get a 10 out of 10. I just bought it. You know what? I mean, I don't care about the condition of the box. I just noticed it. But man, all right. So anyways, Metroid Prime, we have it, and the Amazon pre-order is canceled. We don't like. I saw Best Buy and GameStop get more copies in stock. What is happening with Amazon? Has anybody gotten their Amazon Metroid Prime ordered yet? Has anybody gotten that? I don't know. I feel... What is going on? I don't know. But anyways, Metroid Prime, it's here. Let's get into our reading headline segment and get into all the news that you want to hear about on today's Mario Matter. Let's do it. Alrighty, as I said, we have a lot of headlines. More so, like, this will probably take up the same amount of time as a normal segment would, if not a lot more. So, first up, a few games or maybe one add-on, one game have come out. If you did not know, which I don't expect you to actually know because it was so under-promoted, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is now out. That came out last Friday, and that's out. It's here. I'm curious to know how well or how bad the game is doing, because as I said, it's leading up to it, it felt very under-promoted, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it on Twitter, so I'm interested to see what kind of numbers that game does. And then also, as of today, as of recording, yesterday as of me posting this podcast, so Tuesday the 28th, the Splatoon 3 DLC Part 1 is out now. Now, that came out today. I'm recording this somewhat early. I've not played it yet. I have not played it, and the reason why I didn't play it, before the podcast, so then I can talk about it now, is because I feel like I would need a little bit longer to actually put together a mini review of the DLC. So give me until next Wednesday, and hopefully, I'm gonna try to play it tonight. If I get to that, then I'll give you a mini review next Wednesday, if I remember to even do so. So we'll see. But you'll probably have my mini review next podcast. So those are both out. Next headline. Super Nintendo World is confirmed to be at Florida's Hollywood Studios. Is that what Florida's Universal Studio? Yeah, Universal. So we knew that they were going to make a Super Nintendo World location at, in Florida, right? But it's confirmed now? Like, I don't understand. We knew that this was, it was going to happen. But I guess, like, they got everything cleared. Construction's beginning. It's going well. Whatever. It's happening in Florida. There's going to be a new location. I assume it's going to be in 2025 because that's what I've been reading. And that also sounds accurate. If they've just now, confirmed it, then it must be, I don't see it taking longer than 2 years, so 2020, 2025 is probably the best bet for that. So we'll see. I'd say probably that summer it'll open. Summer 2025, look out for Super Nintendo World. I'm excited. That's the one that I'm gonna go to, because I'm not going all the way to California. Like, no one's doing that, right? Well, people are doing it, but if you live on the East Coast, like, are you really? Maybe you will. You know what? I'll stop. Next, another confirmation from Nintendo. We already knew this, but to get official word on it, Nintendo confirms they will not be at E3. So we had this big rumor go around. It was pretty believable. And now they put out an official statement, and it's a real thing now. So there's a statement. Let's read it. From Nintendo, quote, "We approach our involvement in any event on a case-by-case basis and are always considering various ways to engage with our fans. Since this year's E3 show didn't fit into our plans, we have made the decision to not participate. However, we have been, and continue to be, a strong supporter of the ESA who runs E3 and E3 itself." So, my biggest question after reading that was when they said, since this year's E3 show didn't fit into our plans. What are your plans? What are your plans? Every June, at least almost every June, there's a direct. There's a presentation. What are your plans? What plans could you possibly, like, I guess, so either that means, no, I mean, that probably means that there's no direct in June. Because what other, if you were going to make a direct in June, you would probably want it to be at E3 and promoted within E3. So for it to not fit in your plans must mean that you don't have anything lined up for June. So is the June direct off? I mean, it shouldn't be. Like, I still have hope. I wouldn't call it off yet. But that kind of leads to the direct not even going to happen anymore. So, doesn't fit into their plans. We'll have to see what their plans are. I mean, what else could they be doing? I'm not sure. I don't know. If they weren't going to attend E3, then we could still maybe speculate on the direct. But for them to say, quote, E3 doesn't fit into our plans, that's a little concerning for whether or not we'll have a direct in June. We have to see. We have to see, but that's just the quote that is out there right now. Anyways, they won't be at E3. Direct to be determined. Next, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom website. Guys, websites, they are great things. You type in www.wherever, if you're, what do the commercials say? Like, you have a parent do it with you, whatever, right? They are great things. But if you look a bit too far into it, you might find something fun. And that's what somebody did. Because the Tears of the Kingdom website for Zelda, at the very bottom in small text, says, full version of game required to use DLC. Essentially confirming that DLC is going to be provided for Tears of the Kingdom. We're going to have DLC at some point in the future. A few things. One, I expected that to happen. I expected DLC, as Breath of the Wild got DLC. Tears of the Kingdom should have DLC, so it just makes sense. That's really it. You could kind of expect that, and you kind of saw that coming. Like, I'm not sure how many people would have bet their house against not having DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. So, expected, but a slight confirmation. Like, I saw some people saying that it's not really, like, confirmed yet. Like, that doesn't really mean much, but I think that definitely means that we'll have DLC, as not every game website or game has that. under it, you know? So I believe, like, for a game like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, do you think at the bottom of the site says, the full game required to use DLC? Like, it makes no sense. Like, there is no DLC. It makes zero sense. So I believe that pretty much confirms DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. We gotta wait and see what that is gonna look like, though. I believe that if we get our DLC revealed, it's going to be, so comes out in May. It's either going to be in the September Direct or February 2024. And the reason why I say it's that soon is because we saw Splatoon get released in September of last year, 2022. And we got the DLC announced and released. So that would be 5 months later. If you had Tears of the Kingdom, 4 months later, you announced the DLC. Promotion is still going very, very strong. 4 months later, so then you put that out, and it kind of makes a whole nother spike in sales. Or you do it, what would be 9 months later, in February of 2024, you do it then. 9 months later, has another spike in promotion. So, whenever they want to do it. I doubt it would be any later than, it'll probably be in February, because I feel like September is a bit soon for some players to have beat the game. Obviously, people are going to beat the game within like the first 12 hours of it being out, but 4 months, like, not everyone buys it on release date or even like release month. So 4 months is a bit soon. I say DLC will be announced in February of the year after it releases. Anyway, look forward to some Tears of the Kingdom DLC. Next. So this is pretty weird. This is weird. I didn't expect this. Yeah, it's weird. Is it a bad thing? Not at all. This is sick. So, the Mario movie has been pushed forward. You normally see Nintendo projects get pushed back. It's been pushed forward from April 7th, which is when it was going to release, to April 5th. 2 days earlier. My gosh, my golly, what a big difference. 2 days earlier. 48 hours earlier. You will be seeing the Mario movie. Reason for this? God knows. But they tweeted it out today. So it's real. Not a rumor. It's real. It's an actual thing. It's being moved 2 days earlier. Why? No clue. Am I excited? Yes. Is it a good thing? Yes. I don't understand it. So that's a Wednesday. So after school, Wednesday sounds like a day that you would take like a pretty, that's a Wednesday, right? Yeah. It sounds like a day that you would take like a math test. So go ahead, take your math test, go home, get your popcorn, sneak snacks into the movie. Don't actually do that. Support the movie theaters. Go to the movies, watch the Mario movie, and then watch the Mario Matter, which comes out that day, which will be me discussing the movie spoiler-free. Well, maybe we'll have like a spoiler section and a no spoiler section. So, we'll see. But Mario Matter should be out that day, on that Wednesday, of me discussing the movie. Now, I want to give you a very early heads up. My plan for that is to watch the movie the earliest time possible, which I would assume is going to be in the morning, 10 a.m., 12 p.m. Come home, record the podcast immediately, have it out by like 4 or 5, which is like the normal time. So that's the plan as of right now. Either way, Mario movie, 2 days earlier, exciting stuff. Next, we have two more headlines. Wait, no, one more. Sorry, one more. About Metroid Prime. During the intro of this podcast, I said, we have a headline about Metroid Prime. Here it is. So, with all of this out of stock and this, like, I can't get a pre-order of Metroid Prime and it's delayed. we've never seen this happen, or at least not very often, for a brand new Nintendo game. Normally, even like a day after a game releases for Nintendo, you can still order it from Amazon. It'll be here like the next day. Like, it doesn't go out of stock that easy. But Metroid Prime Remastered actually did. And so Nintendo has commented on the situation, and they have said, quote, I quote you, "We will do everything we can to meet the strong demand for the product." I don't think it's strong demand. I think it's more so undersupply. Like, I don't think that they... Okay. If it was strong demand, that GameStop that I discussed in the intro would have had more copies than just the pre-order copies. So, let's say for that GameStop number 1, there were 7 pre-orders placed, and they shipped out, like, just those 7, no extras. It couldn't have been a strong demand if you didn't ship out any extra. Unless they had, like, 20 pre-orders and 20 was, like, the max or whatever. You know, I don't know. But I think it's undersupply, not strong demand. Now, I'm not saying that Metroid Prime is not in demand, but I don't think that's the main cause of this game being out of stock. So, anyways, quote, "We will do everything we can to meet the strong demand for the product. Please continue to check with major retailers for availability. If the Metroid Prime Remastered game sells out at various retail locations in the US, we will work to provide more units as soon as possible." So, anyways, that basically says Metroid Prime Remastered is not at all a limited release. They're coming back. If you want a copy, I mean, like, honestly, I feel like at this point, it's not very hard to get a copy. Like, I've gotten several Twitter notifications being like, hey, it's back up here, it's here, it's on this site, it's available here. I feel like now it's not very hard to get anymore. Just that, like, release day and leading up to the pre-orders, that's when it was kind of difficult to actually get your hands on the game. Now it's not too hard. But even if you waited, like, if you give it 2 months, like, go to your local Target store in February. I bet you that they'll have, like, 7 just, like, in stock, just sitting there. No one's buying them. I mean, people are buying it, but, like, it's not in, like, a strong demand anymore. Like, it's just there. It's just there. I bet you that'll happen. But it's a lot easier now. So if you're watching this podcast and you're kind of waiting for all the hype to die down, I can't really guarantee you that it'll be in stock, but I have seen it pop up on several sites now, where you can order it for pickup, you know, whatever the case may be. So, try your luck once again if you want a copy of Metroid Prime Remastered. But anyways, that was our last headline. We have 2 segments answering your questions and all the good stuff. Let's go ahead and let's get into our first segment, or first real big segment of the Mario Matter episode number 27. All right, let's go. Alrighty, so Monday of this week was the Pokémon Presents presentation, right? It's basically a Nintendo Direct focused on a Pokemon, right? So that came out, that premiered, that aired 9 a.m. on a Monday, which is like maybe the worst time for a presentation. Like Monday, that's Pokemon Day, that's the anniversary, I get it. But 9 a.m., like that's 6 a.m. on the West Coast. No one's waking up for this. All right, anyway, Pokemon Presents review, breakdown, recap. This thing, okay, so guys, I watched this presentation, right? And I don't watch very many Pokemon Presents. And so because of that, I thought it was pretty good. We got that, like, trading card thingy mabobber set. We got Pokemon Sleep. That releases this summer. We got that, announced there. We got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. And I believe that's it for like the major stuff. And so I thought that was good, right? I gave it, I think, a 6.8 out of 10 was what I scored it. I thought it was good until I went back and watched previous Pokemon Presents. And after watching older ones, this one that we had Monday was terrible. Okay, so everyone said it was terrible on Twitter. I agree with you now. Like, it's not amazing. It wasn't great, right? We did get a DLC announcement, and that's cool. That's all right. But I saw someone comment this on my video or whatever. Sorry, I forget. I don't know your name. I forget it. But they said, like, this could have all just been tweets. Like, hey, guys, you know, Pokemon Sleep comes out summer. Hey, guys, DLC's here. You know, like, it could have just been tweets. We didn't need a whole Pokemon Presents. My predictions were a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, Detective Pikachu 2, and I had one more. I think my other prediction was, it was Pokemon Red and, was it Red and Blue? Red and Green? To be on the Game Boy app for the Switch. I wanted those games to be on there. And none of those happened. Not one of those even happened. Not one. So that was rather disappointing, honestly. Like, I really would love to play some old Pokemon games on the Switch, and I was looking forward to it. Now it's like we have no clue if that'll even happen, you know? So that kind of sucks. We got nothing new. Like, we knew Pokemon Sleep was a thing, and it was coming. If they said Pokemon Sleep releases later today, that might have been a little bit better. That might have been better, right? That might have been like from a 6.8 out of 10 to like a 7.5 out of 10. That could have been better. And so we knew that was coming. We knew Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC was going to come. And as far as that trading card set, no one really seemed excited. So it wasn't amazing. Once again, if we got something brand new, whether it be a new spin-off or like a new Pokemon Rumble game or a new Mystery Dungeon game, like any of those would have made it a lot better. But just the fact that we got nothing brand new just kind of shows where they're at. Like, when is the next Pokemon Presents? Like, God, no one knows. It's gonna be a while, right? Because we just got one. And it's like, oh, God. When are you gonna announce new stuff, man? Yeah, your game just released like 4 months ago, 3 months ago. You can announce, you can tease a cool Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game or something, or a Detective Pikachu 2. When they were showing off that trading card set, they showed some guy with like a briefcase. My heart dropped. I thought it was the I thought it was the Detective Pikachu 2. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And they pull out some Pokemon cards. I'm like, oh shoot. Well, that's down the drain. All right, so Pokemon Presents wasn't amazing, wasn't great. That's really all I have to say about it. I would have more to say if it was more than 20 minutes. The Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC comes out this fall and this winter. Part 1 and Part 2, I believe. Will I buy it? Probably. I don't know. I haven't even really made an effort to beat Pokemon Violet yet. Or Scarlet. I bought Violet. I haven't beat it yet just because, guys, you may think that I play games more than I actually do. I logged on today to record footage for one of my YouTube shorts. Before that, it's been 2 weeks. I haven't even played any games. Now, I have been playing Pokemon X. I haven't played that in 3 days though. I'm almost done with it actually. I'm almost done with it. But I don't play maybe for as long as you might think. So the reason why I say that is because I have not beaten Pokemon Violet, and when I was playing it, I think something new must have come out. That might have been, I'm not sure what game am I playing on my Switch? I don't know. Something new must have distracted me from my Pokemon Violet game, and so I haven't beat it yet. But will I buy the DLC after I beat the game? Maybe. And so yeah, that's it. There's that. Pokemon Presents, not amazing. Let me know in the comments what you would rate that presentation. I kind of want to go rewatch it, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, that's it. Not to keep you any longer. One thing that was leaked from the Pokemon Presents might have led to Nintendo fans, most of them anyways, worst enemy. Nintendo Switch Pro rumors. Oh god. All right, next segment. Let's talk about it. Oh my god. Let's get to it. All right, yep, you heard it right. All right, guys. I don't even want to Switch Pro. We've been talking about this for maybe 3 or 4 years. The Nintendo Switch Pro. It looks like it'll never happen if we're not counting the OLED as the Switch Pro. We've been discussing this. We've been talking about this. Will it ever happen, or is it all one big myth? All right. Where does it come from, you might ask? Well, a Pokemon programmer who is anonymous, I believe. Nothing on him. Not a spot on him. I pulled up this exact quote. Where did it go? Do my websites just disappear? I don't know what happens. All right, here it is. All right, so there's a Pokemon programmer. Anonymous. They are anonymous, and they have posted on a forum, quote, I am a programmer at a Pokemon outsourcing company. My English is very poor, so I use machine translation to complete this post. The theme of the DLC is, quote, Hidden Treasure of Area Zero and, quote, Hexagon. Version 1.2.0 includes dressable clothes as a reward for DLC purchasers. And then they go on to name a few of the Pokemon that were shown off. Now, what's crazy is this was posted Friday, 3 days before the presentation where they announced any of this. This person leaked it correctly. The DLC is called Area Zero, dressable clothes, everything. So this person leaked the presentation DLC correctly. Okay? Now, what they said below all of this is, quote, we are working on a graphics enhancement patch for the new Nintendo Switch models that will be released alongside DLC 2. When does DLC 2 come out? Winter. Guys, this guy who just leaked correctly the Pokemon presentation totally on the spot. Like, he didn't get anything wrong, or she. As far as what I'm seeing. Just said that they're working on a graphics enhancement patch, which makes sense, for the new Nintendo Switch model. Guys, stop. For the new Nintendo Switch models. Alright, so here's what you might think. You might think, oh, well, that just might mean that, you know, they're going to make a special edition Pokemon Switch, and that's going to be for that. Makes no sense. Because it says they're making the patch for the new Switch models. If they were only going to make them for a special edition Pokemon Switch, which is basically just a Switch OLED, makes zero sense. So, it's definitely going to be a brand new Switch, and if it's a graphics enhancement patch, it must be new hardware. So, therefore, as I have stated, if that's true, it's a Switch Pro. And that's back. Switch Pro rumors are back. So, once again, if that's true, the leaker says it'll be released alongside DLC 2. When does DLC 2 come out? As we said, it is the winter. Holiday release. You saw that happen with the Switch OLED. Makes sense. It's probably one of the best times to ever release a console. Holiday. Holiday alongside DLC 2. It all lines up, guys. It all makes sense. And it looks legit. Like, you have to think, once again, this was posted February 24th. The presentation was the 27th. And they said all of this and got it all correct so far. The new Switch models, we have to wait and see. But moving away from this whole leak, what could a new model even look like or be like? I think, and I said this in a YouTube short, right? I said it in a short. The 3DS had the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the new 3DS, and the new 3DS XL. 4 different models as far as 3DS goes. Not 2DS, but 3DS. 4 models. Let's say that the original 3DS lines up with the original Switch. The 3DS XL is basically the Switch OLED. The new 3DS XL could then translate as the Switch version. New Switch OLED. New Nintendo Switch OLED. Like, there could be one more model called the new Nintendo Switch OLED that could sell, and that's the Switch Pro. The Switch Pro that we've been discussing will probably be called the quote-unquote new Nintendo Switch OLED. That's my prediction. It'll have the word new in front of it. I don't think it'll be called Pro. I don't think it'll be called Plus or Deluxe or, whatever. I think if they put new in front of it, that'll hit the spot. I think so. But as much as I don't really want to hear any more Switch Pro stuff, you can't really help but just think that this is going to be real and it's going to happen. Like, this person predicted, leaked, all of that. Now, is Pokemon probably working on a graphics enhancement patch anyway? Probably. They should be doing that. But just the part where it says new Switch models. Now, there is part of this to take with a grain of salt. So, in the beginning, you may recall, this person wrote, "My English is very poor, so I used machine translation." Could the part where they say, for the new Switch models, could that have been poorly translated, and that means, like, maybe new wasn't supposed to be part of it? Like, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's like, could the rough translation have just worded that wrong, and that just means that they're making a graphics patch for the Switch? That's rather unlikely that this isn't for a new Switch model. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here. Anyways, I think it's a real thing. I think it's real, and I think it's gonna be for the next model that'll probably be announced. Well, okay. When was the new 3DS XL announced? Like, how many months in advance do they like to do this? It was announced. It's not even telling me. Announced. They just say. Okay, put it this way. So it was announced. Shoot, it's not even telling me. Guys, when was it announced? I believe. Okay. Late August of 2014. It released. What's that? So that would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 6 months later. Winter. I don't know, guys. It could be like January 2024, they release this Switch Pro. I think they'll announce it a little bit after Tears of the Kingdom, because they have that Tears of the Kingdom OLED coming through, if that is still a real thing. So, I think it'll be announced in July or August. July or August, one of those. And it'll be here in either December or January, because you have to think, it said winter, not holiday. Winter, we're in winter right now, and it's March. It could be any time. I don't know, but we gotta see when the Switch Pro comes out. What do you think? Do you believe the Switch Pro is a real thing and it's actually gonna happen this time? Because you have to think, like, guys, we discuss rumors on this podcast a lot, and I tell you when they're rumors, and when they're not. And with a lot of leaks, I tell you if people have gotten things right. Like, for example, we know Jeff Grubb leaked the direct date twice now. I'm sure more than that, but like we covered it twice. Now, I'm telling you, this guy who leaked this got something right. Now he claims Switch Pro. It's probably going to be right. I don't know. We'll see. No 100% confirmation. It just looks really good. So, anyways, that's that. Switch Pro, it's back. These rumors won't stop until we get it, or until the next console releases. I don't know. We'll have to see. You can't escape it, guys. You can't escape the Switch Pro rumors. Anyways, let's move on. Gotta move on. That Funky Town song. Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's move on to the best segment of the week. Alrighty, guys. You know it. I know it. It's your favorite. We're going to answer your questions. So on Discord, in my Discord server, which is in the link in the description or the notes of the podcast, there's a link to join my Discord server. You can join that. Go to the Ask EmSwizzle channel. You can ask me a question, and I will sit here and I will answer it. So, we have to scroll up a long way. I believe we stopped right here at favorite Kirby game. So, I believe we start here. That diehard Mario fan asks, least favorite 3D Mario. So, I'm going to actually kind of go through these questions a bit faster, because, guys, as the podcast grows and grows, there's more and more questions, and we have like 20. So, I'm going to go through them a bit quicker. Least favorite 3D Mario. So, we have Mario 64, 3D World, 3D Land, Sunshine, Odyssey. Dang, I love all of them. I don't know. And Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. So, the answer's probably going to be Mario Sunshine, and before I say that, I don't hate Mario Sunshine. I love the game. It just doesn't, I can't say that it's better than Mario 64. I can't say it's better than Mario Galaxy 2. I can't say that it's better than those games. Do I like the game? Yes, but it's not better than those ones. All right. Next. SM Galactic asks, favorite Splatoon weapon? My favorite, I've been using it since the Splatoon 2 days, which was like early 2017. Or that would be summer 2017. Wait. So when did Splatoon... Yeah. 2017, I believe Splatoon 2 came out. So, my favorite weapon I've been using forever is the Sploosh-O-Matic. I have nothing... I have no reason, really, for using it, apart from I'm so used to it, and I've been using it for years. Otherwise, that's it. Next, Kaz the Kaz asks, favorite Luigi's Mansion game? The answer to that is going to be Luigi's Mansion 1 on the GameCube or the 3DS port. It's the same game. The GameCube version is my favorite. Next, Polito asks, have you played Sonic Mania? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I have never played Sonic Mania. I cannot give my thoughts. I've heard good things, but I cannot give my personal experience. Next, Dizzy asks, what do you think the after credit scene in the Mario movie is going to be? That's a good question. Shoot. I don't. Probably just. It'll be some comedy. I think it'll just be. It's hard to predict like what it's kind of like if you ask me to predict the entire storyline of the movie. Like I don't know how it's going to look or turn out, but I think it'll be funny. I think it'll be like funny cuts and stuff and like funny jokes or like some kind of like cool iconic Nintendo joke or whatever it'll be. I think it'll be very funny and worth staying for though. Next, 3 Up Moon asks, ARMS movie. Wait, that's not a question. ARMS movie. Do we need an ARMS movie? I don't know how well that movie does, but I mean, I'd probably go watch it. ARMS movie? Maybe. Next, Icy Tiger asks, would you like to see an ARMS 2 game? Probably not. Probably not. No, I mean, I don't hate ARMS, but I definitely don't love it either. I could probably do without an ARMS 2. So, I don't need it, but it'd be kind of cool to see. I say maybe they make an ARMS 2, and if it does terrible, then leave it behind forever. Maybe. Next, Jenna asks, how do you edit your videos? So, I won't go into specifics, but I'll tell you what I use and how long it takes and that kind of stuff. So, the computer software that I use is called Adobe Premiere Pro. And it's a pretty popular editing software. I use that for this podcast and for the shorts and these things. And so I use that program. I've got all my presets saved in there. And it takes me about an hour to edit one short. And yeah, once again, I won't go into specifics, but that's the program that I use. I hope that answers the question. Next, Ruby Gem asks, do you watch any anime? And if you do, which is your favorite? I actually don't. I don't watch any anime. I wish I could, because there's some people in here like talking about it. Like Kaz said, mine's Demon Slayer. Ruby Gem said mine's One Piece. It's like, I wish I could give my input. I just don't watch anime, unfortunately, So, next, Gregory asks, what's your favorite GameCube game? Going back to, actually, no. Okay, my favorite GameCube game is Animal Crossing for the GameCube. I was going to say, going back to Luigi's Mansion, that's my second favorite GameCube game. My first is the Animal Crossing for the GameCube, and although I don't play it very often, Animal Crossing is my favorite series ever. I love all the games. I love everything about them. And so I've just always loved that game. And that's one of the very few GameCube games that I actually own, period. I own Luigi's Mansion, or my family owns rather, because I was kind of young at that time. So they bought, my brother I think bought Luigi's Mansion. That game then caught on to me. And so I've played it ever since. I bought Animal Crossing for the GameCube a few years ago. We own Super Mario Sunshine, Super Monkey Ball, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, a few others. But yeah, my favorite is Animal Crossing. People call it Animal Crossing Population Growing because it says like the words population growing on the cover art. But it's not officially titled that, so I don't call it that. Anyways, Cactus Lord Gaming asks, what was the first console you ever owned? So, the first that my family ever owned was the GameCube, and the first one that I personally ever owned was a DSi. I don't know which year I got it. I'd have to ask my parents or something, but they bought me a DSi. They bought me and my siblings a DSi. All different colors, and I still have it. It's over there. It works. It's got a bunch of scratches on it because the stylus, and I was a ruthless child, so it has some scratches. Otherwise, it's actually in like pretty good condition. Like if you wanted to replace the screen, you might be able to, it's in pretty good condition. Like it's pretty good. It's good. It's good. It's good. All right. Next, Flux asks, will you buy any of the $2,000 NES games off of DKO? DKO? They do not sell $2,000. Hold on. 2,000. Hold on. That can't be a thing. They don't sell 2,000. I can check real quick. Price. Shut up. Oh my. Okay, so how much do those games actually sell? Okay, so sorry, I'm not saying much because I'm like in shock. They have one game called Bonk's Adventure and one called Flintstone's Surprise at Dinosaur Peak, both listed for $2,000. How much do these games actually cost? Because maybe they actually cost that much. So, oh my god, shut up. Hold on. So, copies of the game go for $1,000 used. They've went and doubled it, and it's now selling for $2,000 on DKOldies. All right. Well, will I buy the games? Of course not. That's an insane price. They've went and doubled the price. That's insane. I don't ever mean to like bash DKOldies, but like you have to, no matter whose price that is, whether GameStop put it up, DKOldies put it up, or Target put that price up. I'm gonna kind of talk about it in that same manner either way. It's just it's crazy. Next, Icy Tiger asks, which one is better, the Switch or the Wii U? I will always back the Wii U. I don't care. It's an emulation machine. The gamepad brings people together. Wii Party U. Such a fun family friend game. I will always back the Wii U. Personality to it. Great music. Is the Switch great? For sure. But I love the Wii U and will always back it up. So my answer is the Wii U. But that does not mean I never want this to get taken out of context. The Switch is phenomenal. It's great. But I have to back the Wii U. I don't know. I have to back it. It's just so great. Next, Roy for real asks, which one is better, Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Toad? I'm probably gonna say either Luigi or Toad. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I'll say Toad. Toad is a total legend. Toad is sick. I'm saying Toad. I'm saying Toad. All right, next, It's Katie asks, how do you get video ideas for shorts? So yeah, that one's actually, it's a very good question. So how I get video ideas realistically, so what I've done in the past is sometimes they'll just come to me. Other times, I walk around the room, look at every Nintendo item that I have, and be like, all right, okay, so the best... Okay, so for example, say I looked at the Wii U. So the best Wii U games, the worst Wii U games, the best Wii U this, the worst Wii U that, Wii U this, why the Wii U was this, why the Wii U did that, why the Wii U looked like that, and I just name every possible video idea. If I get one that I like, I sit there and think, is it actually a good idea? If it is, we run with it. If it's not, we just repeat. I look at a Tom Nook plush. How old is Tom Nook? Tom Nook's net worth. How much money does Tom Nook have? Tom Nook this, Tom Nook that, and I do that for everything. Other times, I've asked you guys for video ideas. If you want to submit a video idea for me, the link is in the description. I was worried when I made that form. People would be like, he's running out of ideas. I'm not. I've been consistently thinking of 4 video ideas a day since July of 2022. I will never run out of ideas. Now, I might stop doing shorts like in a few years or like, I'm not sure when it'll be, but I won't be doing it until the day I die. But it's like, I'm never going to run out of ideas. And if I do stop doing shorts at some point, which I don't plan on it, then I'll just go as, I'll keep working this hard, but for long form content. And then I'll never run out of ideas for long form content. And we just keep on doing this. So I have the whole plan. I have the whole plan. So there's that. But yeah, video ideas come rather natural. Next, Shy Guy the Goat asks, what's the greatest story video game you've ever played? Hot take, mine is Paper Mario Color Splash. That game, it's not even bad. I don't even hate it. But the best story, probably Skyward Sword counts, right? Because that's like a whole story. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is my answer. Skyward Sword. Next, that die-hard Mario fan asks, why did you start your channel? Why did I start the channel? So, I started it. If you go to my about page, right? It'll say that I made the channel in 2015 or so. I did, but I started posting in 2020, and we all know that year. I started because of the whole pandemic, and that's how I started. I created Animal Crossing content. I did that up until 2022. I stopped. I did shorts, and that doesn't really answer the question, but that's how I got started. Now, why I got started? Mainly because I always wanted to like be a YouTuber, but I never like really went hard for it. And so when we had 2 weeks off of school, I was just like, okay, this is the time. You can't leave the house. You can't do anything. I'm like, there's no better setup than to try and be a YouTuber now. Because you have two options with that amount of free time. You sit and you lay down and you just sleep all day and you play games, which is fun. It's not bad. It's quite relaxing. Or you take this random 2 weeks, try and be a YouTuber, try and get some momentum, and if it doesn't work, fine. 2 weeks, you weren't gonna do anything anyway, right? So I thought, all right, I'm gonna do it. Obviously, I didn't skyrocket within those 2 weeks, but I had enough momentum to keep on doing it. And so I kept on doing it, and I'm here. I started doing shorts last July, and now I'm here on the Mario Matter, doing the stuff. So that's why and how I got started. Next, Stinky Gamer asks, do you like Mario? I mean Waluigi. Do I like Waluigi? How do you mix up those two? All right, so do I like Waluigi? I love Waluigi. I think that he's kind of like overhyped, as a character. Let me tell you this: if Waluigi was in Smash Bros, you wouldn't hear a peep about him. Not a peep, right? So I don't know. He's kind of over talked about, overhyped, but he's cool. He's cool. I like him. Next, the Soda Boy asks, I am shocked to find that no one asks this, but what is your favorite song / artist? So, my favorite song, I could never really pick like one song. I can tell you what I'm listening to now though. So, if I were to go to my playlist, which I'm doing right now, my favorite song right now is actually an old one. It's called Weston Road Flows by Drake. I'm gonna put it on right now in my headphones. All right. Next, my favorite artist of all time is Juice WRLD. There's a tapestry right there of Juice WRLD. There's another one on the other side of the room. I love Juice WRLD. I've been listening to him since 2018. My friend put me onto him. Listening since 2018. Large fan, you could say. I went to his concert, actually, as well. And that was fun. So, Juice WRLD is my favorite artist. Next, SP Dicey asks, favorite Kirby game? We answered it last episode, and the answer was Kirby Planet Robobot. So, that is my favorite Kirby game, and that is it for all of the questions for the Mario Matter. Thank you all so much for asking questions, and thank you all so much for watching and listening and viewing, rather, maybe. Maybe it's a stronger word that I can use to sound smart. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all. Shout out to our channel members. We established last podcast that we'd start reading out all their names individually. And so we're going to actually do that right now. Let's go to monetization. Where is it? What? Oh, okay. So it's called Earn now. So go to Earn, go to Members, see your members. Shout out to Doge Time 420, Nintendo Sports, Hippo1273, Pal EX, Carter Crossing, and It's Kate for being members of the YouTube channel. If you want to become a member and get a shout out, you can. What was that? Some like white speck just fell on my feet. All right, so if you want to be a channel member, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can look in the description. You can go to the notes of this podcast if you're on Apple or Spotify. There is a link. You can become a channel member. You can then get a shout out. So there's that. Thank you all so much. I love you all. I'll see you all next Wednesday. I'm going to go edit this podcast, edit one more video, record videos, and then jump right in to the Splatoon 3 DLC. I'll see you all then next Wednesday to hopefully discuss it. I love you all once again. Have a good one. Adios.